My name is Rory Houlihan. I ran for U.S. Senate last spring, 2016, to stop the ticking time bombs so I could put our economy on track for a bright new day instead of all things ending. Well, I lost the election and am not running, but the ticking time bombs are still here, if not more so. Let me educate you on the ticking time bombs and give you the rest of the story. Part 17A, the Second Amendment. Well, I was planning on finishing up on with the Article 2 and Section 3, the U.S. Senate, and part of the impeachment, which is relevant today, but actions of the Trump administration forced me off my planned course of instruction. With Neil Gorsuch's nomination and the expansion of Jared Kushner's role. Today, I cannot help to see a thief and thieves being rewarded. Being in retail now for 19 years, I know all too well that once you reward a thief for stealing, he doesn't stop until he ruins you. I have had a thief steal from me until he ruined my business. I hate thieves. I know from years of retail experience that a few can ruin things for the many. I intend to stop this because I know that you good folks are best protected when bad guys don't and you can. I need to explain more relevant concept, and if I was a real politician, I'd be like everyone else. But as I said, no guts, no glory, no future. Do you take a back seat or do you take point, take on, and take out? I choose to take point, take on, and not duck out. I stand for you stand for something or you stand for nothing. The Second Amendment. Well, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, period. Let's break down the Second Amendment to points of law. First point of law is a well-regulated. Second point of law is militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Third point of law is the right of the people to keep and bear arms. Fourth point of law is shall not be infringed. Remember back to the preamble when conservatives refused to acknowledge the first office of the preamble to try to turn our country back into a monarchy, and Thomas Jefferson would have none of this. And that is how the Democratic Party came about. Well, for like 200 years, justices across the U.S. viewed a well-regulated not only as the first statement, but gave a well-regulated first office standing. First office means that a well-regulator was the umbrella concept. All the rest of the following statements are under reference to the umbrella concept. Today's conservatives either ignore the first office standing of a regulated altogether or minimize, narrow, a well-regulated only to include the next point of law dealing with militia and not the rest of the Second Amendment. Today's Alcons jurists deny the first office umbrella standing of a well-regulated. Remember, conservative jurists narrow to take the first office and a well-regulated scope and meaning. I believe in all of our Second Amendment, not just some, shall not be infringed. Let's take a look at the folks who wrote the Second Amendment. July 21st, 1789, the Second Amendment goes into committee. On August 17th, this version comes out. A well-regulated militia, comma, composed of the body of the people, comma, being the best security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, semicolon, but no person religiously scrupulous shall be compelled to bear arms, period. On August 25th, the Senate receives this copy. A well-regulated militia, comma, composed of the body of the people, comma, being the best security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed, comma, but no one religiously scrupulous of bearing arms shall be compared to render military service in person, period. On September 4th, this version goes before the whole Senate. a well-regulated militia, comma, being the best security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed. You wonder where I get my points of law from looking at the punctuation in this version. Um, on September 21st, 1789, this is the version that passes. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, period. On December 15th, 1791, three-quarters of the states had ratified the first 10 amendments. We call them the Bill of Rights. Look at how many and where the punctuation marks are in the final amendment. We just one and a comma. Where the comma is located is after a free state and before the right of the people. The comma breaks down the Second Amendment into two continuous thoughts. The first thought is a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. All one continuous line, meaning a continuous thought. The word state is capitalized, meaning states of the Union, followed by a comma, which means a continued subordinate clause. The right of the people being capitalized, to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. In law, punctuation has more meaning than in any other use of our language. Semicolons are placed between two or more equal value statements. Colons are used in equal statements or lists. Periods are placed between separate ideas. Thus, the use of a comma means that a well-regulated applies also to the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Also, that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed is also a continuous thought, going back to a well-regulated. The second is a check and balanced amendment in which a well-regulated balances out shall not be infringed. Moderate laws come from moderates who checks and balances his thoughts and his actions. He is truly the only righteous man. We had moderate people running our country. I believe in the entire Second Amendment, not just some, shall not be infringed. Today's conservative jurist, like Neil Gorsuch, does not believe in this, because I know you folks are most protected when the bad guys don't have guns and you do. To understand further true reasons behind the Second Amendment, we need to look at the history and the people behind it. I plan to follow that next. End of 17A, History of the Second Amendment. You have a good and blessed day. Bye.